principle called letting everything be your teacher, everything, and so considering what that means, letting everything be your teacher. So missing the last step, it's a teacher. The healing process, a teacher. A bruise, a teacher. A digestive thing that happens, a teacher. I want to read as we get into this beginning what one of my students wrote about everything be your teacher. Everything is letting everything be your teacher. Think of these and what they might teach you. Tightness in my back and shoulders, stress from the day, accepting my body and the day the way that it was, focusing on my breath and on the practice, letting everything be my teacher. Accepting that a wandering mind is natural and that the mind is fluid. I choose my own reality, letting everything be our teacher. All of my decisions create my future self, and I can have a say in what I am. Letting everything be your teacher, finding the beauty of nature. Nature is a teacher. Calmness and taking time for myself. Connection to the outside. Connection to the inside. Clarity in observing what's going on around me. Clarity in observing what's going on inside of me. Letting everything be your teacher. Mindfulness is like putting on a pair of glasses when I didn't know my vision was blurred for so long. Letting everything be your teacher. Like putting on a pair of glasses when I didn't know my vision was blurred for so long. The mindfulness practice. Peace and love. Letting everything be my teacher. So just take into your consciousness this statement as you close your eyes and find your breath, and find that breath we've been practicing, this universal connection to the power within our heart. And inhale and exhale, letting everything be my teacher. Just even that beginning, the way that you are in your house, on your bed, on a chair, on the floor, on a cushion, on no cushion, inside, outside, in a car, doesn't matter. Every moment is your teacher. Everything is yoga. Everything is yoga. Everything is a mindfulness practice. It's a practice because we lose that mindfulness. We have to bring ourselves back. Where do your hands get placed when you're in this moment? Do you want to use a mudra? Mindfulness. Thumb and pointer finger together is the Gyan mudra. It's the one for mental clarity. If you've got too much going on in your consciousness and you need to just not think, and you don't want mental clarity, you want to calm the mind, turn the hands back upside down so the palms are facing down. Inhale, gratitude through the heart, appreciation, caring, and compassion. Compassion for everyone who misses the last step. Compassion for, being in public sometimes and the shame, the immediate shame when you trip, when you fall. The immediate somebody coming forward and say, do you need help? And then you don't even know what to say, and you want to be strong and say, no, I don't think I need it. And it's just a metaphor. Think of the metaphor. The metaphor, even during COVID, when we've dealt with so many different feelings, emotions, um, you know, fears, different ways we've had to understand what's going on, questions, the mystery, all of that as our teacher. And then how do we approach that? Recognizing and witnessing the parts of the brain that create the limbic system response, that create that fight flight. And when you fall, and just use it as a metaphor, when you trip or fall or miss the last step, you're all automatic. You go on automatic saving yourself. And we've been that way for 2 years. And really, with Donald Trump in power, we've been that way for 6 years, even with, all that's happened in this last 6 years. So compassion and caring for yourself as you breathe it through your heart. How do you expand compassion? What does compassion look like? And we've been practicing that song from Karen Drucker, only go as slow as the fastest part of you feels safe to go. And then hold yourself like a baby. Just see the images of how those two statements. Hold yourself like a baby, have compassion. And remember, we bless those who suffer. Bless those who witness the suffering, because that witnessing of the suffering is suffering inside the person witnessing. It's very hard to witness it. I know you all can relate. Even the person that came to, to say, "Are you okay?" That person witnessed something. And then we bless those who cause the suffering, and that can be, invisible or visible, so that they may get the picture, so that they may get a new awareness of the compassion that's needed, that actually there's something that they could perhaps be more mindful of. And we can bless the step. When we miss the step, we can bless the stairs that take us up and down stairs. We can bless the accidental log or stick that was in our way and we accidentally fell. We can bless things that are natural or that have helped us along the way. It's a practice of how do you work with this? Bless those who suffer, bless those who witness the suffering, bless those who cause the suffering. And they're not always people. Only go as fast as the slowest part of you feels safe to go. Hold yourself like a little baby. Gentle. Be gentle with yourself. Preparing, those of us that are preparing to do a little travel or meeting up with a family, part of the family for Thanksgiving. There's a preparation to that too. And the preparation can be mindfulness in every moment. And then the preparation can go back to our intuition. As we breathe gratitude through the heart, and the extended exhale will always help you make the biochemistry. It's another proven thing. Make the biochemistry to calm the body down. Now you can just stay still and just be breathing. You can just listen to what happens during this next 45 minutes and just be lying down and closing your eyes and drifting off and in and out, and seeing yourself in your mind's eye doing asanas or not. Allow it to be a meditation that's there in your consciousness using your imagination. Bring the fingertips together and just take a moment. We're doing this because this is the mudra connecting the chakras, and this is the 7 chakras. This is the first 5. You bring that to your heart. The thumbs are actually, the first chakra, and the pinky finger there is the 5th. And so if you did them individually, you would just hold one and then hold another and then hold another. You would be working just individually what chakra you want to ignite. But we want to ignite all of them to remind us that we are light. And this is totally the truth of the 21st century understanding of physics and the physics applied to the human body. We are light. We are this visible light is what we see, and we are all of the electromagnetic spectrum. We are gravity. We are the 2 nuclear forces. We are the quantum field. Then bring the thumb to your third eye and just see all 7 colors. And perhaps if you were lucky, if you live here in Oregon, you will have, or maybe where you are in Michigan, or even if you're in the East Coast, if you have rain, we just had tons of rainbows in the last few days. And I was so antsy to get out of the house that I went out in my car. And I went to places like Findlay to go see the swans. And rainbows and beautiful skies and birds. And the sound of the swans and the geese, I just drank it in. So consider drinking in the sounds of nature and knowing that everything is sound and everything is light. And that sound is the vibration that's healing. And all, sound healing is really real, because that's all we are, is sound and light, vibration. Then tap the top of your head. You know where we're going. Hold on to that for a moment. And let's do the energy medicine again for making more space in our brain. When you get your fingertips right in the center of the skull, and then stretch the hair out a little bit, stretch the skin out a little bit, and pull it down. Bring your fingers behind your ears and down off the shoulders, and let go of the things that are in the brain you don't need anymore. These old patterns that hold you back. And we'll do this 3 more times in honor of the 4 directions, the 4 chambers of the heart, the 4 archangels, down and back, and do this at your own pace. You can take a deep breath in and think of all the stuff. You can just think of it as, what do you see? For me, I see a little sticky brownish goo that I'm taking out, and I'm going to brush it off and get it out of my fingers. And one more time. This is energy medicine for making more space in the brain. Then bring the arms above your head, or at least imagine the new chakras from below your body to the earth chakra, the first chakra, the first of the 12, and then up above and out. And here we have the soul, the galaxy, and the universe, because we're not separate from any of that. And the soul, you start to get the soul messages. What does that mean to go to the soul level? And then to the galactic level, for me, it's a connection in with astrology and the planets, and being able to go outside in a clear sky and see some of the planets and go, yeah, I live in the galaxy. They all have the same sun. We share this sun, and they all have gravity, and I'm affected by all of it. I'm not separate from it. And then you go to the universe, and I see the pictures sent by Hubble telescope. So what do you see? And then bring your hands back to your heart. Namaste. Always go back to yourself and go, may I have amazing healing. May I have peace. May I have freedom. May I know and take into my heart how everything is my teacher. May I walk the earth lightly in mindfulness with clarity of vision. And then release that, release what we've just done. And we'll come down to the mat or to the bed. And it looks like I just have to pull that back. And you know about having the equipment nearby. So with that, once you come deciding how it feels to come down, you can either lengthen out your legs and just pause for a moment, or bring yourself feet wide and knees propped together and pause for a moment. And just inhale and exhale and just recognize this Monday, the first Monday after the time change in parts of the country. And just, that little bit of disruption that took incredible mindfulness in my world to be able to switch my brain in that one little way, because it was patterned in another way for the rest of that time period that we haven't had the so we changed the time. It's a great, interesting pinpoint of a mindfulness practice. And just take that in and see all that you did to change your clocks, just being present with this thing that much of the country had to do. Then pull the knees in when you're ready and roll the ankles. And just, in that feeling of the details of your body, you had to rake leaves or dig holes or, put a garden to bed, or you missed the last step, or whatever's happened. Sometimes I look down and I'm taking a shower or bath, and all of a sudden I see a big bruise on my leg and I go, how did I get that? And then I realize I have to heal that for like a week. Then pull the knees in, bring the head up to the knees and the hands as far to the feet as they go. And you're evaluating the details of where the body has a little twinge. Where do you need to send a little extra love, a little extra holding yourself as though you're a baby, tenderness, care? What part of the body is speaking? And again, if this doesn't work, then you find another way. Maybe a cushion behind your head and you're on a bed and you're just lifting the cushion. You're lifting your head through lifting yourself with a cushion. Then head comes back down and come into five-pointed star. Release anything that you can of the tensions that we have. Feel gravity beneath you and imagine that peach colored light is coming up and it through the center of the earth, coming up and filling your body with that color. And it's a multicolored light, and bring the opal in also. The opal is that 12th chakra up in the universe. That opal and that peach colored understanding comes together in this very powerful healing light. Then place the feet flat on the floor or your bed and drop the knees side to side and evaluate the pelvis. Now, if you're on your bed, you might also consider having, some extra cushions around so that you could drop the knees to one side and just put cushions to that side and hold the pelvis up just at the right place as you need to feel what that pelvis needs to do. So you can have blocks or cushions available. And here's my squishy cushion that I use for my knee. And it's just fabulous just to, surrender either the cushion between the legs or cushion under that side that I'm turned to. The right is where my knees are turned to the right. The head turns to the left. This is the gentle form of getting the spine twisted and back in order, like a chiropractic adjustment, like adjusting the vertebra. And they always sort of get out of whack a little bit. You can do this more vigorously without a cushion, feet, knees, and thighs on top of each other, or bottom foot crosses over. So many ways. You can put a block behind your back or, under the knee, whatever you need. Learning what you need every day, and every day is different. Then switch sides. And again, what do you need on this side? And evaluating what you need. Sometimes after being injured, it's really hard for me to discern, what did I really do? And then sometimes when I discover a bruise and I don't immediately know what it came from, and then later on I'll go, oh yeah, I just got that bruise from this simple little thing. But it hurts, so I've got to take care of it. And it's letting everything be my teacher. And it says, okay, slow down. Breath, moment, gratitude, appreciation, caring, compassion. Then back to center. Pull one knee in, lace the fingers around the top of that knee, or lace the fingers under that knee and lengthen out the other leg. Now, for those of you who want gentle, this is the gentle. This is called half wind relieving posture. When you bring both knees in, it's, they're both good for the small intestine. Breathe into that. But you can also have your head on a cushion, or you can lift your head, and you can also lift the foot. And so here, you can make it more vigorous, and you can make it very gentle. Now, those of you that are in vigor here, you can decide just hold here. Or you could switch legs, and you can hold on to the bottom of your foot and the top of the other knee. And you can go, and you can do a little bit of a workout, a little bit of more of what we might do in a vigorous practice. Otherwise, those of you who are going gentle, you're just going to pull that knee in, either on top of the knee or under the knee. And just know that that's enough. You can always wiggle your feet. I haven't done this one in a long time, so it feels pretty good. Grounding into the lower back, pointing and flexing. No, pointing the foot as it comes down, holding on to the bottom of the foot and the knee, so you get a little bit of support there. Now, if your head is not liking this, you can always put one hand behind your head and just keep that there and keep this going. It can also be gentle knee to elbow, which we've done a lot. Then hold, if you're with me on this one, hold, and you can put that hand behind your head or have your head on a cushion. And then hold the other side. Or you're just pulling your knee in, or a gentle knee to elbow. And then both knees come in. And take a deep breath in and out. Lengthen them out then and reach the arms above your head. And really reach and stretch. And if your arms don't go over above your head, just, figure out where your arms will go and allow yourself to have wherever they'll go, and then relax. Fully relax. Feel the shape of your body. Now, if you're evaluating injuries, what do you feel when you put your arms in a different position? Does it feel better to bend the elbows? Does it feel better to put your hands down by your sides? What is your body really asking for? Mindfulness in every moment. That's the lesson. Bring the feet flat on the floor and take the right ankle and cross it over the left. Lace the fingers between the leg for the vigorous form of this. You can always put your left foot onto a block. You can always just put your left foot on the floor and just pull that right ankle over the knee. And with this, you're just, again, evaluating the pelvis, evaluating what your body needs and wants. You can always have a chair, a couch, or a wall, and you can put your left foot up on the wall. So the gentlest form, just cross the ankle and see where it goes and what you're feeling. and you'll evaluate both sides. Moderate, maybe your foot is on a block or your hands between the leg. Vigorous, if your body does this, you can lace the fingers on top of that knee and see if your head will come down. That's a little much more than my body wants to do. Then just relax that left foot and let the arms pull forward. So you're again working with the shoulders, working with the arms. If you're lacing, you can always use a strap between your legs too. You know, you do yoga asanas to come back to the breath in a different shape, so that when you go out there in the world off the mat, you get into a car and you do yoga. You get ready, you sit in the car, you're mindful about how and where you're going. You're mindful about how fast you want to move. You listen to the breath, feel the asana of sitting in a car. That's the training. Now, those of you who want more vigor, take the right hand, put it on your knee, take the left hand, put it on your foot, lift the head. This time, we're doing almost what we did before, but the hip is out to the side. So we're flexing and pointing this time. And again, you can bring one hand behind your head or have your head on a cushion. And if you want to add the breath with the the lowering and raising of the left leg. And then hold for a moment. Don't hold your breath. That's another mindfulness tool, whenever we are, getting through something, even going to the grocery store sometimes for me is like getting through the shopping, and I find I'm holding my breath. And then let that leg go, feel the release of the neck if you've had your head off the floor. Then do the other side, bring the left ankle over the right. Now, gentle again, you just have one foot down, left hand. You can push your knee away and just work with that. You can bring your foot up onto a block or a cushion, so it's just a little more of a stretch. You can just evaluate, what is this hip like? And you just be in that evaluation. You can lift the leg, lace the fingers, or put the foot up on a block, a cushion, a chair, or even a wall. So there's so many forms. Your shoulders pull forward, your head might tilt back a little bit. That's a nice little relaxation for the back of the neck. Breathe, relax, feel what's going on, feel the shape, the space between. Go back to the breath. Go back to the extended exhale. Go back to compassion for yourself. Go back to full presence. What does that mean to be fully present? Go back to gratitude. Gratitude for this moment. And you can find anything in this moment to have gratitude for. And then lift the head if you want, or you can start with taking that right hand, putting it on your left foot, left hand on the left knee, lengthen out the right leg. And maybe you want to lift it, or you want to do something different from your back. And maybe you want to lift up your head and raise and lower and flex and point and breathe and relax and feel and be in motion. And you're deciding every moment what's right. And that is the lesson, letting everything be your teacher. Letting everything be your teacher. It's so amazing when you take that one off the mat into the world. Then hold and see if that's a teacher. Don't hold your breath. See if that's a teacher. And then let it go, lengthen out the legs, shake them out. Place the feet flat on the floor and jiggle the body into this cerebral spinal fluid balancer. Now, what we've done thus far is a great restorative practice without moving off of the bed or the floor, not really moving very much. Then either roll yourself over to your side or bring yourself up to seated. And here we are. Loosen the pelvis. And time just flies with our class. That's why I really want to get started at 11. But I almost never get started then. Still trying. And then onto the hands and knees. And letting the spine have the freedom here of the, just a freedom of being able to have the full extension. Inhale one direction, exhale the other. And make it a deep inhale and exhale. Fill the lungs. Empty the lungs. Feel the stretch of the front surface of the body. Feel the strength of the arms. And then pause. And this time we're just going to take it into a roll where we get the arms into action. Now, if your body is not, this is for your body, but you feel like you need to stand up, then you can stand up and sit on the edge of a chair and just move the spine forward and back. Or sit on the edge of the bed if your feet come to the floor. Change directions with the roll. Articulate as many vertebrae as you can find. Feel your muscles working for you and however they are. And then pause up onto hands and knees. And we're just going to come to standing for a very short time. Tuck the toes and come up into downward dog, or just find your way to a chair or to standing. And heel walk the legs. So during a time of healing, what's really nice is if you do stand up at different times, to see if there's a way to stretch the backs of the legs. Because, and those of you who are doing garden cleanup and raking and all that kind of thing, the back, the work with for the back, really the backs of the legs and the lower back are intimately connected to being able to function. Then decide how you're going to come to your hands and find the right place for yourself. Now, this posture, the supported squat, if you put your hands, fingertips facing each other and straighten your legs, you really feel that nice stretch of the lower back. Now, if you have a chair, a table, or a wall, you can do the same thing on the chair, the table, the wall. And you're going to have this really get down there in the lower back and the backs of the legs. You can come down further, and some people can come down further and straighten their legs. And you can work with it as you want to with the standing forward bend if it works for you. Again, having hands on a wall is pretty good. Then bend the knees and bring yourself up. Arms come up. This helps you to not be dizzy. And then hands to the heart. Now, in that world of the lower back, when we get into a repetitive action, like digging, like raking, like lifting, and all the things you do to, move things in the fall. Here, maybe not in Hawaii, but yeah, I think my sister has to do a lot of trimming of things that grow so much. Step the right foot back and have the left leg, the left knee bend, and you'll get another one of those stretches there. Now, you can always have your hands on a wall. The toe comes up to the wall and you just stretch that back leg. And if you want to, you can have your hands on the wall and the knee on the wall. And this is supported warrior. Then you straighten the front leg and arms come down. You might need to push yourself off, and you're going to do a stretch of the front of the leg. If you don't have a wall or a table, then you just put your hands behind you or down on your leg or on the floor, and you look up. So then again, you're stretching the lower back. So this is for all of you that are working your back a lot right now. And then bend the knee and your back up. Step forward on that side, step back on the other side. And again, right knee forward, back legs getting a good stretch, hip, and all of that is all involved. And again, if you want a wall, you go to the wall, your toe up against the edge, your knee actually holds you up, and then your arms come up if you want, or down on your waist. And then you lengthen out that leg. I had to, for my arms to go out, I have to walk further back. Can't even see my foot. And then if you're on the mat, hands behind you, hands down on the floor, and you just feel that stretch. And then bend that knee and you come up. Step forward and shake it out. And then breath of joy. That's for the perkiness. So here we go, breath of joy. So at your own pace. Last time. And then perkiness. We did this on Friday, and some of you said, oh, it's been so long, we haven't done laughter yoga. So laughter yoga. Now, laughter yoga can be done in any posture. So come into 5-pointed star today. And we're just going to go, we're going to fake laughter. So feel the laughter coming up from the base of the spine all the way up through the head. But to start out, what we're going to do is gather something for the funny bone. Think of what you're gathering. Maybe it's leaves. Maybe it's flowers. Maybe it's, we did flower petals on Friday. So pick up whatever you're going to have and pick it up, and you're going to hold it. And then you're going to throw it up into the air and go, it's going to fall down on you. So again, gather it up. Gather. What are you gathering? What are you holding? What are you doing? Okay, could be feathers. You know, what are you doing? And then throw it up, and it's going to come down. And very good. Yay! And we sparkle that with a yay, and very good, yay. Then stand for a moment, take a deep breath in. Arms come up and feel whatever that energy is. And if you are in bed, I hope you giggled. Hope you laughed. Laugh. Live, love, laugh. Take that into your heart and see yourself laughing. See yourself smiling. See yourself going out and being in the magic of this time of year, in the magic of the light changes in the dark, of the wetness, and the gratitude for the water that sustains us. And if you have some water nearby, which I know a lot of us do, rivers or lakes or canals or whatever, or you might have rain that falls from the sky or the ocean, really remember that you are that water body. And then let yourself be that water body, and just take this for a moment into fluidity. Make it fluid. And see if you can have some kind of sound come out. So allow sound, vibration to come out of your throat in what we call toning. It doesn't have to be any tone. You can do an om. And if you're lying down at a bed or in a chair, you can just move your arms. it is going to help healing just to move all these places, even if it hurts a little bit, even if you feel the feedback. And so toning goes like this. Ah, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ooh. Close your eyes and move with your tones fluidly, remembering that you are mostly water. You are 80%, 85% water. You are 10% bacteria, and you're only 5% of the great mystery of like what makes it all work. Ah, ooh, ah. And then find your final tone. Stand for a moment in five-pointed star with your eyes closed, palms up. What might you be holding in your palms? What might you be holding, maybe even between the two palms? And what I see for me is a rainbow. I'm holding a rainbow that's on both sides, going over my head. Rainbows to me are such magic. They deserve so much attention from me. Whenever I can catch one. Bringing my hands to my heart in gratitude for all the rainbows in my life and the kind of light they bring to me. Coming back to your bed or your mat. Drop the chin to the chest and roll down the spine. Step back. Heel walk if you want, and then down to the knees and back around. And come back all the way down to the floor. And here, we've been doing this a lot, and that's because it's such a comfortable posture. You can just do reclined goddess it's sort of like a precursor, a posture before Shavasana. And you come to that cushion, which you can barely see here because it's a dark color, and you can use blocks or other cushions if you want. And you may just, be in a bed and put cushion underneath your knees and just be in Shavasana. And then again, you're evaluating. Evaluate what this practice has stirred within you. Evaluate all the parts of the practice that is all the union of all that is. How does everything be your teacher? Evaluate the teachings that are the takeaways. Noticing the breath after what we've done. Going back to that breath that is the extended exhale, or just a non-thought, non-needing any kind of structure, just what I call the comfortable, steady breath. You might consider opening the jaw as though a grain of rice can sit between the teeth, so your jaw is more relaxed. If you have any, clothing or a scarf nearby, you might want to put that over your eyes or palm the eyes with the heels of the hands at the heels of your cheekbones. Just giving your eyes a little rest. And perhaps just a little reflection of how everything is your teacher. and to take that into your day and keep bringing it back. Then the other statement I really loved about, and these are 20 somethings, they're not even 20 something. Some of them are 18, my students. Mindfulness is like putting on a pair of glasses when I didn't know my vision was blurred for so long. What is mindfulness? Clarity inside myself and outside myself. Even in the moments when I feel lost, that lostness is my teacher. Even the moments when I recognize that I have to feel the whole continuum of emotions. And honoring the difficulties and the easiness, or the hard emotions or the difficult emotions, and the joyous freedom of ecstasy and happiness, and the emotions that are lighter, and knowing that heavy and the lightness is all part of it. It's all part of the whole thing, the whole aliveness. And having gratitude for a moment of full aliveness. Thank you, universe, for helping me understand what full aliveness is. May we have peace, and may what we do here go out onto the world and make more peace. Take a deep breath in and out, and just recognize if you need to stay right where you are. There's no rush to going anywhere unless you have to rush in your own life. And see what it means to release yourself from that posture that was my last posture, and then to Shavasana if you haven't been there. Take a moment to feel gravity and feel what happens when you make that shift. Then if you're joining me in the way that I get up, then it's rolling over to my side and resting on my side for a moment to feel the shift of water in my body and gravity itself. Pressing into my hands and gently bringing myself up to get myself more ready to stand. So there's no dizziness in standing. Grounding into the earth, imagining the peach-colored light as I come up, filling my body, bringing peace to all of my moments. Then finding my way up in the best way for me. And each of us has that best way.